Claude Cowork just eliminated 20 hours of my client admin work, and they don't write any single code. If you are a lawyer doing legal research, a marketer managing campaign, or an HR person analyzing hiring data, then this is a setup that you are waiting for. Let me show you how it works today. Here is the reality. 63% of the people using AI tool today, they're actually not developers. They are product managers, marketers, operators, legal teams. But almost every tutorial assumes that you are a coder. Terminal commands, API keys, and the moment you close the tab. That's what the video is going to fix today. By the end of the next 15 minutes, you are going to know how to set up Cowork on your Mac or Windows machine, give it access to your files, and run your first autonomous workflow. Whether you are organizing receipt into a spreadsheet, drafting contracts, or analyzing hiring pipeline, no coding required. Trust me. Hey, this is Sudipta. I'm an enterprise technical architect and I create content here in Technical Potpourri. I've spent last 6 months testing Cowork with non-technical teams, lawyers, ops manager, HR leads, and I have built templates that work. I'm going to walk you through 3 real setups today. And by the end of this video, you will have a working instance on your machine. So let's dig in. Before we set up anything, we need to understand what Cowork actually does. Cowork is Claude, the AI assistant that you might heard of from Claude.ai. But it runs on your local machine with full access that you provide to Cowork. So instead of a chat window, you get a task-based interface. So you describe what you want to achieve and Claude handles it autonomously. It can read the file, it can write to the file, create spreadsheet, organize data, and do a lot of things based on what permission you provide to the Cowork. Since it runs in your local machine and not in the cloud, so your sensitive data is not gonna leave your computer. Here is what makes Cowork different from Claude Code. Claude Code runs in your terminal and is built for developers writing code. But Cowork is a desktop app with a graphical interface and it's designed for anyone. You get a folder picker, you point it to your document folder or any project folder, and Cowork has read-write access to everything in that folder. Then you create task, basically instruction for what you want Cowork to do. And Claude runs that task, makes changes to your files and show you the result. The setup is very straightforward. You download the Claude desktop app, install it on your Mac or Windows and authenticate with your Anthropic account, and that's your basically the Claude.ai login. And then you pick a folder from your local machine and then you are live. From there, the learning curve is just how can I write a good task description? And that's what the rest of the video covers today. Let me show you the first real use case. Meet Sarah. She is a contract attorney. She has 15 client agreements sitting in her document folder, all PDFs. She needs to pull out the key dates, obligations, and red flags from each one and dump it into a spreadsheet. Normally, this takes her 6 to 8 hours of work. So let's see how Cowork does it under 15 minutes. So here I am inside my Claude desktop. The first thing that I'll do, I'll click on project and click on new project. And let's give a name as legal research. And here I'll click on use folder and I will choose a folder from my desktop. This is a folder and I'll click on always allow and then click on create project. So my project is ready and as you can see, it's a Cowork is enabled. So here I will pass the first instruction. So a couple of things, here is the instruction which I can put my custom instruction. This is the memory, these are the context, and here I can create some schedule task. But for today's video, I'm not going to create a schedule task. That's another video I'll publish very soon. But here what I'm going to do, I'm going to give an instruction right here. So here is the instruction I've given. Review all PDF files in this folder for each of the contract, because each PDF is basically a contract. Extract the client name, start date, end date, renewal date if present, key obligations that Sarah must fulfill, any risk or red flag. Format the output as a CSV file called, this is the name of the CSV file with headers. Each row is one contract. Now let's put here, let's choose Opus 5. And the effort, let's choose as medium and then click on start task. And the moment is done, you can see the progress here. This is the instruction and this is the context. So it's now started reviewing the PDFs present in that folder. And here comes the result. I can see this is a contract 1, contract 2. These are individual PDFs. I can see all the 21 PDFs. These are the contract number. These are the client name, vendor, all this thing. Also, it created this one, which if I click on the Google Drive, and here is the Excel that was created, all the contract number, what is the client name, vendor, contract value, key obligations that Sarah has to fulfill. These are the different risks and red flags. So what happened here is that Claude was able to read all the files that I pointed to, understand the context, writing structured output. Now, the quality of this output entirely depends on how clearly you describe the task. For example, if Sarah had written just summarize the contract, she would probably got a very vague summary. Because she have mentioned the exact field and the exact format, she got this real usable data. So let's see the second demo where I'll be handling a marketing operations scenario. So let's meet Marcus. Marcus is basically a marketing operation manager. He has got 3 Google Sheets with campaign data. One for the paid ads, one for the email, and one for the content. Every month, he manually copies data into a master spreadsheet, adds pivot table, write commentary, and send it to the executive team. So this is a 4-hour manual task every month. So why don't we automate this with Cowork? So let's go back to the project again. And this time let's create a new project and give it a name as marketing campaign, marketing operations. And let's choose a folder, marketing. So let me show you what I have inside this folder. So I have 3 files, content.csv, email.csv, and paidads.csv. Okay, so let's create the project and now give the instruction. So I'm telling I have 3 files, 3 CSV file, as you can see, paidads.csv, email CSV, and content.csv. Each has columns for channel, data, impressions, click, conversion, spend. So now I'm telling create a master monthly performance report that will contain combined data from all these 3 CSV files, calculate ROI per channel, identify the top performer and the worst performer, writes a 200-word executive summary, and saves the report in a monthly report.txt. So that's something Marcus is doing every month, and it is taking currently 4 hours. So we are going to automate that with Cowork. So my model is Opus 5, my effort is medium, so let's hit enter. And it started doing the job. And as you can see, here is the report. It's telling these are the assumptions, these are the combined performance by date, this is the ROI by channel, this is the top and worst performer, and the executive summary. And also this entire information is stored inside that folder. So if I bring the folder again, this is the one marketing report, monthly report.txt. That's what exactly I mentioned in my task description. So if I open that, this is what it looks like. So from all this file, Cowork was able to summarize the information based on what I mentioned in my task description. So Marcus was able to do that, but it took almost 4 hours. And with this Cowork, it is automated and it is taking only a couple of minutes. Now, the third scenario, probably the most complex one, analyzing the hiring pipeline. And this is specifically important for the HR leaders. So let's meet Priya this time, who is an HR manager at a growing startup. She is managing a hiring pipeline across 5 roles: backend, frontend, product, sales, operations. She got a spreadsheet with candidate data like name, role, stage, applied, screened, interviewed, offer pending, days in that particular stage. So every week she wants to know which role is basically the bottleneck. How long does each role takes to hire? And what's her prediction when the time will come for the offer? So let's do that in a very automated way with Cowork. So let's go back to the project section again and let's create a new project and give this a name as HR hiring pipeline. And this time let's choose a different folder, hiring pipeline. And I'm going to show you what I have inside that folder. So I have this one CSV, hiring pipeline.csv. Okay, so let's create the project. And once the project is created, I'm going to put this instruction. I'm telling I have a CSV file called hiring pipeline.csv. That's basically the hiring pipeline.csv. with columns candidate name, role, stage, days in the stage, and offer date. So what I'm telling Cowork to analyze the pipeline and produce for each role, calculate the average days from applied to offer, identify any role where candidates are stuck in one stage for more than 10 days. These are basically the bottlenecks. For each bottleneck role, recommend an action. For example, hire more screeners, schedule more interviews, revisit the offer amount, predict offer dates for candidates currently in interview or offer pending stage based on the historical trend. And finally, format this output as a markdown report with the section for analysis, bottleneck, recommendation, and forecast. So very clear instruction I've given as a task description. So let's hit enter and see what Cowork can do. And as you can see, the report is ready. So this is basically a hiring pipeline report. The data is coming from this CSV file. There are 30 candidates, 3 roles. These are the estimated days from applied to offer for senior engineer, product manager, data analysis, what is applied, how many days it is in the different stages like applied, screening, interview, all this thing, where basically the time goes. Pipeline distribution, the bottlenecks, these are the candidate and these are the bottlenecks, how many times they are stuck in a particular stage, bottleneck by role and the stage, and the recommendation, which I also asked, what should I do? And these are the recommendation, these are the forecast, these are the interview, and these are the forecast caveats. So within a very short amount of time, Cowork was able to go through the CSV, and based on my problem, it was able to analyze a pipeline where the bottleneck was, what are the things that I can do, and create this report which I can definitely review. So just imagine building this type of report by a normal human being will probably take a couple of hours, right? But with Cowork, it's so easy. It can be done within a couple of minutes. So before you go and set up, here are 3 things which will make your Cowork experience 10 times better. First, precision in the task description. Don't say analyze the data. Rather say calculate the monthly average of column X. Identify values above the 90th percentile. Flag them in a new column called outlier flag. And export as CSV. The more specific you are, the better result that you will get. Number 2, test with the small data first. Don't point Cowork at a folder with 1000 files on day 1. Start with 5 files probably. Run a task, see the output, refine the prompt, then scale. This is how you build trust in the tool and catch issues early. Now number 3, understand the folder access. Cowork can read and write to any file in the folder you give it. Be intentional about which folder you point it to. Don't point it to your entire document folder if you are worried about it modifying the unrelated files. Create a specific folder like document/Cowork task or something like that, and put only the data that you want Cowork to touch it there. Those 3 things, precise prompt, small dataset for testing, and intentional folder isolation. That's the difference between Cowork working smoothly and you are getting frustrated. So here is what I want you to do first. Don't wait for the perfect use case. Download Claude Desktop, point it to a folder with 5 or 10 simple files, maybe some PDFs you want to summarize or a CSV you want to reorganize. Write one task, hit run, and see what happens. The only way to build intuition for how to write tasks is to actually write tasks. If you hit a wall, you can always put your problem in the comment section of this video. I always read each and every comment. If you like this video, please share this with your friends, with your colleagues, and please subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to click on the bell icon, because next time when I'll publish videos on this topic, I want you to be notified first. Till my next video, stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.